Well, we're down here between Gilcrest and High Island. The county is, or the state, I should say, is cleaning the road, and we're going to take a look at it real quick. As you can see, I'm sitting on the shoulder, and you can see cars are going through. I think they're slowing them down or stopping them as the road graders. When I pulled up, the road graders were here working on the road. And so I've started driving around about 5 o'clock this morning, 5:30. I guess it's about 5:30, quarter till 6. And we've got some water down here, but it's not from rain. The ditches are full. And like I said, it's not for rain. But first, this Bolivar Live is brought to you by the Big Store. When you're on Bolivar and you need anything, stop by the Big Store and you'll be greeted by a staff of smiling faces and a staff that's eager to help you find what you're looking for. If the Big Store doesn't have it, chances are the truck didn't bring it. Well, we're right where the sand started and the debris started on the road, and the county and the state have done, I guess it's a state, have done a great job on this. I know we were out here late yesterday afternoon at low tide. High tide came in last night between 10 and midnight, depending on where you were on the beachfront. Here, it was about 12:45, I believe, this morning. We've got a low tide coming up, and then let me look and see when we'll have another high tide today on the beachfront. Looks like another high tide at about 10:38, and then a low tide at about 6:10 or so. And so low tide or high tide this morning, or low tide, was at 6:50. Which is, it's done already. And then we've got another high tide at 10:38, give or take a half hour. But with the elevated tides, all the ditches are full, and it's not from rain. In fact, I went down Loop 108 towards La Plata, and I couldn't get from my house back to Highway 87 because the road was flooded from tide. We haven't had that much rain. It's just been a drizzle is what we've had so far. They're predicting for us to get, in excess 10 to 15 inches last time I listened, last night about 10 o'clock. But right now, all the water we have is just from elevated tides and storm surge. Now, the ferry shut down yesterday. We did a live feed probably about 11 o'clock. They might be moving some emergency personnel, state workers and law officers, but I can tell you it's real limited, if at all. Once it gets over four foot, they shut the ferry down and haven't been moving. So this is the only way out. Like I said, the state's doing a great job. They've got people staying over here to keep the road open and cleaned so that you can get out or get in if you need to. So that's it right now. We're going to be driving around. We're going to try and get Coastal One up and take some aerial photos or some video clips if we can of the road. Everything on the bay side, most of the roads are flooded, and actually when I came down, the homes that are up against the beachfront between Rollover Pass and here, most of them have had some wash through or have water under their house just because the tide's high. And I'm going to pan around over here so you can see we're on an outgoing tide, but it's still elevated. And so we get some rain, 10 inches of rain or even 5 inches of rain on top of this today. It's going to cause even a bigger problem because the water doesn't have anywhere to drain. I'm going to zoom in now down Highway 87, and you can see they're working on the roads. I've seen cars coming through. Let me adjust the zoom. There we go. There you can see they've got, looks like they may have the road blocked so that so that so that they can get the graders and stuff turned around. Almost looks like a fire down there, but it's probably the emergency lights on one of the sheriff's or constable's vehicles. So anyway, if you're wanting to get out, like I said, I've seen people coming through back and forth from both directions. It's probably not a pretty drive. It's probably not the best for your vehicle. And so you may just want to stay set. Like I told Chris last night, well, we're more or less stuck here now until Wednesday or so. I did see something yesterday that had me some concerned. The GFS model on this thing, it shows this storm coming up the coast, and it's moved a little bit more south now than it was. It was showing north of Houston or right through Houston, but now it's back towards the coast. And Eric brought up a good thing yesterday. I hadn't heard any of the news agencies say about it, but if this thing gets very close to the coast and goes back out over the water, it could reform, and that's what he was talking about. There you can see tide, got a big wave washed up here just now. That's what worries me. Could this thing go back out over the water? I believe it was Umberto that did that, and reform and then go on into Louisiana. So that's something we're going to have to watch. Certainly we don't need it. Certainly Louisiana doesn't need it. But I've noticed all the models have started moving a little bit closer to the surf. So I want to thank TxDOT for having their crews out here, the highway department. I know the sheriff's department's been involved, Galveston County's involved. Just want to thank everyone that's working on keeping the road closed or open and clean for transportation, because this is, with the ferry being closed down, this is the only way out. Even Crystal Beach Fire Department, Port Bolivar Fire Department, Highland, they've all made changes in where ambulances are setting and getting updates on if they needed a medevac. I got a message from Doug last night that they were moving some ambulances around, and Crystal Beach Fire Department had agreed that if they needed to get someone out and the water was high, they could use their high water rescue vehicle. And so I want to thank all the volunteer fire departments down here, because they're working to make sure that everyone's taken care of. That's Port Bolivar, Crystal Beach, and High Island, along with Galveston County Office of Emergency Management, Mark Henry. All of them are working to make sure we have the resources over here that we do. Power's been great. See a few vacationers that actually stayed in some rental houses and are just riding it out. I guess they got the board games and stuff. So anyway, just wanted to let y'all know, see what it looked like. The Gulf is turning. Galveston 61st Street Pier lost the end of their pier last night, and it floated up about a half-mile down or so on the beach front, and so they're getting hammered over there. I imagine Harborside, or I would think Harborside would have water in that on it. And so we're going to make some trips around and go look at some different areas and do some film clips and maybe put a video together. All the houses seem to be okay down here. The only ones I saw that had wash underneath them were some of the beachfront down on the east end. And we lost about half the dunes in Laura, and so we don't have the protection that we needed. I'd heard, and I'm going to check into it, I'd heard that we had applied for, and I don't know who applied for it, but applied for a dune restoration permit. And so I'm going to check into that with some county officials and that to see if we did apply for it, where it stands, because it would be nice to be able to pump the sand offshore back up and build up some protection, because those dunes are what protects us in a time like this, storm surge. So I remember before Ike, they used to dam up all the entrances, and there you can see look like the front end loader coming down here. I'm sitting on the edge of the the highway here. And so you can see they've cleaned to about the white line from the north side going back towards the beach. And so it's a process because we've got miles of it that they're having to clean off, but they're doing a great job. And I'm sure they'll be out here all day monitoring it and keeping it clean. If you don't have to come through here, please don't. It's not good for you. Couldn't be good for you and your vehicle. Stay where you are, and hopefully this thing will pass here in another 24 hours. It's supposed to make landfall tonight down around Matagorda, and then as the projected path is to come up and back up towards Galveston and that. So we'll keep an eye on that and let you know what we're seeing down here so that you know what to look for down here. There you can see the county's cleaning the road, scraping it off and everything. And so they've done a great, or the city, the state, they've done a great job of it. And we're going to get out of their way here in a minute and let them get started. They've cleaned from the north side all the way over to the south side, the beach side of the road. Now they're going to start covering cleaning the shoulder, I imagine. So anyway, we'll be back a little bit later on this morning, letting you know what's going on down here, how beta's treating the Texas coast. We've got full ditches. We've got a full ditch due to storm surge, and we get rain, we're going to have more water on the roads down here, but we'll keep you connected. Remember, you can see it all through our live webcams at BolivarPeninsula.Texas.com. We've got Beachfront, Bayside, Rollover Pass, and Fort Travis. Until next time, let us know where you're listening from. Hopefully you're not coming down today, and we'll be back a little bit later, live from Bolivar Peninsula. God bless, and bye-bye.